there! Welcome to Absolute Kids. Today, we're diving into something super cool, emails. You might be thinking, aren't emails just for grown-ups? But guess what? Emails are for everyone, even you. In this video today, you'll learn what an email is, how to create your personal email address, how to write an email, and finally, how to be polite when sending emails. Whether you want to ask your teacher a question, send a thank you note to a friend, or share something fun with your family, emails are a great way to do it. Ready to get started? Let's go. To begin, what is an email? Let's start with the basics. Imagine you want to send a letter to a friend that you've known for a while and then got separated. You'd write it on paper, put it in an envelope, and drop it in the mailbox. Right? An email is like that, but it's a little different. How? It is sent through the internet. Amazing, right? But that's not all. It's much faster than regular mail. When you send an email, it goes to the other person right away. You can use emails to ask questions, share news, or just say hello to anyone, no matter where they are. One beautiful thing about emails is that they don't get lost like paper letters. You can save all your messages and read them later. You can also send pictures or homework with your email. So if you want to show someone a drawing or schoolwork, email makes it very easy. We've gone over what an email is now. Let's explore how to use them. Why use emails? Emails are super useful for lots of reasons. Some of them include 1. Communicating with teachers. Let's assume you have a question about your homework or need to tell your teacher you won't be in class. Emails are great for these kinds of scenarios. You can ask for help or send your work without waiting until the next school day. 2. Keeping in touch with friends and family. Emails help you stay connected with friends and family who might live far away. You can share updates, send pictures, and keep up with each other's lives. 3. Sending thank you notes. It's nice to say thanks when someone does something kind for you. If you can't do it in person, an email is a quick and easy way to show your appreciation. 4. Sharing projects and ideas. There will be times when you'll have to work as a team on a given class project. Emails make it easy to share ideas and files with your teammates. You can send drafts, pictures, or videos and keep everyone on the same page. 5. Staying organized. Emails help you keep track of important information. You can find old messages and refer back to them whenever you need to, so you don't have to worry about losing anything. 6. Learning and growing. Writing emails helps you practice your writing skills and learn how to communicate clearly. These skills are useful now and will help you in the future too. Now that you know what an email is and why you should use it, it's time to set up your own email account. To do this, you need to go to a website like google.com where you can create a Google profile and by default an email address. If you don't know how to do this, refer to our video on creating a Google profile linked in the description below. Once your profile is set up on Google, sign into your Gmail. Now let's get to the fun part, writing an email. Click on the plus button on the bottom right corner to start a new email. First, you'll need to know the email address of the person you want to message. Just like you set up a Google profile to communicate with others via your Google Workspace tools, they also need to have a profile set up. After that, you need to give your email a subject. The subject of an email is like the title of a book. It tells the reader what the email is about. It's a good practice to make your email subjects short and clear. For example, subjects like question about homework or thank you for the birthday gift are great. because they tell the receiver what to expect in the body of the email. Next, we proceed to the body of the email. Always start your email with a friendly greeting. If you're emailing a teacher, for example, you might say, "Dear Mrs. Smith," or "Hello, Mr. Brown." For friends, a simple "hi" or "hey" works well. After the salutation comes the message content of your email. Keep it clear and to the point. If you're asking a question, be specific about what you need help with. If you're sharing news, tell your reader what's new and why it's important. Once you're done with writing the major part of your email, end it with a polite closing. You can use phrases like "best regards," "thanks," or "sincerely," followed by your name. This gives your email a nice finish and shows that you're being respectful. Here's an example of a simple email you might send to your teacher. Subject: question about homework. Dear Mrs. Smith, I hope you're doing well. I have a question about the homework assignment. Could you please explain the last problem on page 10? I'm a bit confused about how to solve it. Thank you for your help. Best regards, Alex. Now, we've explored how to write an email, but it isn't just enough to know how to write one. Certain rules and etiquette must be considered when writing an email. They include 1. Politeness. When you send an email, it's important to be polite. Always use please and thank you to show good manners. For example, instead of saying, "I need help," try saying, "Could you please help me with this?" It sounds much nicer. Also, avoid using all caps because it can look like you're shouting. 2. Double-check your messages before you click send. Make sure everything makes sense and there are no spelling mistakes. One last thing. If you ever attach a file, like a drawing or project, mention it in your email so the reader knows to look for it. Before you hit send, take a moment to read your email again. Check for any mistakes, like spelling errors or missing information. Make sure your message is clear and makes sense. It's always good to double-check so your email is as perfect as possible. Alright, kids? You've done an awesome job learning about emails. So far, we've talked in detail about what an email is, why it's useful, the step-by-step process required in sending an email, and basic email etiquette. Now it's time to test your knowledge on what we've done up to this point. Challenge time. Question 1. Why should you avoid using all caps when writing an email? A. It makes the email look fancy. B. It can seem like you're shouting. C. It helps the email send faster. D. It's easier to read. Question 2. Before sending an email, it's important to double-check for mistakes, right? Take a look at a sample email on your screen. Can you spot the mistakes? What mistakes did you spot? A. The subject is too vague. B. The greeting isn't capitalized correctly. C. There's no polite request, just a demand. D. All of the above. Question 3. What's the main purpose of the subject in an email? A. To add a greeting. B. To introduce yourself. C. To tell the reader what the email is about. D. To make the email longer. Question 4. You're writing an email to your friend to share a funny story. I'll give you 4 different ways to start your email, and you have to pick the one that's best for this situation. Which greeting is the most friendly and appropriate for emailing a friend? What answers did you pick? share with us in the comments section. If there's any you can't immediately answer, no problem. Go through the video again, and you should be able to attempt them by the time you come back to it. So kids, now that you know how to write emails, it's time to practice. Try sending an email to a family member or friend. Use the tips and tricks you've learned to make your message clear and friendly. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so that you'll be updated once we make new content tailored just for you. You can also share this video with your friends so that they too can learn to communicate using emails. Thanks for joining us on this amazing exploration of emails, kids. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!